Well, it started in 2002 when I started feeling a little bit weak and having some symptoms about kidney failure. So I went to see my nephrologist, and he was tracking my creatinine level. So it was on the level where it was preoccupied. It was a level that it was reasonable, but you noticed it was going up. It wasn't going down. So he kept on following me until he got to a level where we needed to make a decision and go on dialysis. So when the doctor, my doctor approached us and gave us the options, so basically dialysis, and then we put your name on a list, or if you have a donor, a living donor that could give you a kidney. So that's when I approached my family, and I was very lucky. We had 3 of my family members that were compatible. So my brother Paulo, my brother Silvio, and my mom as well.
So it didn't really, he didn't ask me to donate his kidney. It's like almost an instinct comes over you to help. There's no questions asked. You just do it, and you go in for a test to make sure you match. And when it's matched, then we decided that I was the healthiest of the 3 donors. So I went ahead with giving the kidney.
Then we had meetings with the kidney doctors and the surgeons. And they explained the whole concept. So and then I guess he had a couple of choices to make, and maybe you could talk about those choices.
For me, it was like they did the test A to Z. They tested my body, my physical body, also my mentally. They asked a lot of questions, and they told me until the last second, even on the operation table, before you operate, you can say we're not doing it, and they'll say that it wasn't a match. They won't even bring up that you wanted to bail out, right? So they give me that option till the last second. About a year, I did a lot of tests, a lot of the MRI, some CT scans, heart tests, blood tests. Every step they did, then you advance. If the blood didn't match or something didn't match, they stop it. So everything went. So it took about a year and all for the whole procedure to go from A to Z.
I just got married, actually. I got married in 2002, and I was diagnosed at the end of 2002 with kidney failure. So I felt really bad for my wife, because we just came back from a honeymoon, and we wanted to start a family, so we had to put that on hold. So she was very excited because, getting another chance at life and trying to live a normal life. So she was very excited. I know there was some concerns with the family, about what were the risks of happening, right? What was going to happen if something went wrong? All this the stuff that we usually think about, all the negative stuff, right? So we just made sure we stayed positive and went through with it. Support from the family, support from our friends, family, colleagues. My work was very, very flexible and very helpful. The doctors and nurses, from A to Z, everyone was very helpful and in their own ways, right? So everybody played a role. The doctors knew that we had a kidney of a donor, so we wanted to go ahead and make sure that it happened as soon as possible. Of course, you have to go through all the steps and procedures before you get there. When I came out of the surgery, I was well. I had no pain. I was no morphine at all for the whole entire 8 days. So it went really well. They just keep me because they want to monitor you if there's no failure and all that stuff. It's protocol, I guess, right? But I was out of the hospital in 8 days. It's amazing, as if you feel brand new. It's like it's night and day. It's you get it. It's functioning right away. And you get your appetite back. All the normal stuff that you were feeling a long time ago all comes back to you. It's an amazing feeling. It's just getting back to where you were before. So it's pretty amazing.
For me, the operation went really well. It was laparoscopic. They didn't cut me. They just went with the cameras. They removed the kidney with a small incision. They removed it, and I was back at work after 4 days.
It's everything in moderation. Of course, you want to take care of yourself. The doctors are following me every 3 months. I go every 3 months, but I should be going every 6 months. They take my blood test. Everything's fine. I take my anti-rejection pills, like I got to do it for the rest of my life. But that's a small price to pay for being on dialysis. So take my pills, live my normal life.
No side effects. I don't even feel as if I have one kidney. It's no change at all.
I was very fortunate to get that. I know of other people that are waiting for a kidney transplant, and because maybe they're their family members are not a match or whatever the case might be. So, you know, if you're thinking about it, like Paulo was saying, it's a minor surgery. It seems a bit scary at the beginning, but when I came out of my surgery, I wanted to go see my brother. They told me I already checked out. So I was pretty impressed. So, you know, I was still in the hospital, but he was already out the next day. So, so it is a minor surgery, and at the same time, you're giving another chance of life to another family member. You know, the doctors here in Montreal and Quebec are very, very good. So we felt at ease with how they planned everything out and how they kind of prepared us mentally, mentally and physically as well. So, so you know, we felt pretty good going into the operation. When you have a kidney transplant, you could do whatever you want. You're back to reality. We're back to, you know, the same thing you were doing before. So it's freedom is the key word for me.